We're grateful to Wilderness Tactical Products for bringing us today's video. I use their carry belt for my everyday carry and their ankle medical kit, and they have given us a link in the description for $5 off on the IFAK. Go check it out. It's the best one around. Hey everybody, we are back again at Attitude First Martial Arts Academy with my jiu-jitsu coach, Josh Stockman. Yogi Nogi, the yoga machine, as we say.
That's right, misspelled. That's what happens when you let your kids pick your name.
And Josh, go watch the previous video. You can get his bona fides and all that stuff. His bona fide for me is he chokes the crap out of me on a regular basis. You mentioned something in the last video I want to unpack a little bit more, and that was that here at Attitude First when we roll, we do a 2-hour class, some no gi, some gi, and in a lot of places, if I go somewhere else and roll, like I get maybe 2 rolls at the end of a class, right?
Typical 90-minute class format is like 30 or 40 minutes of jumping jacks and stuff, which I think people could do on their own. And then literally a seminar of practice with a bunch of drilling, and if you're lucky, before the next class comes in, a couple rounds.
But we'll do like 7, 8.
Dude, my approach is the opposite. You come in warm. If you want to lose weight, that's on you. This is a club. I'm not here, for fitness is built into the routine, but we're not here to do jumping jacks. And then we kind of like round table discuss some techniques and make sure everybody gets it and practice it so you at least have the steps down. And then as soon as possible, we hit it live, and we might do 10 5-minute rounds in an evening.
Yeah.
And I mentioned previously, if all you have is killers your size, all world champs, this is going to be a hard method because you're not going to have anybody to practice on. But if you at least have a cooperative partner who will give you about 70% so you can set stuff up, and I always feed my students the technique. So if we did triangles or whatever, from the guard, I'll scoop an arm under to start showing you that in and out to let you hit it. And with the smaller person, of course, you can literally shove them into place. So that's why I love having a mixed class. When I was coming up, I did not like the idea of an advanced and a beginner and an intermediate class because the beginners, if they're tough enough, will get good fast when they're stuck with brown and black belts. And the brown and black belts can practice all their new stuff.
There's a time-honored tradition of choking the living crap out of white belts.
Yeah, it's fun.
As a white belt who gets the crap choked out of him on the reg, I get it.
I always say it's good motivation to recruit another white belt friend of yours, so you're not the only one getting killed.
Somebody else that you can get in there and get with.
Yeah. But the regular all drill routine, I find it's not the way I think. I find it super boring. To me, it's a bottom-up process where we're going to mess with all these pieces. And eventually, when we have them all perfected, we'll build a house or whatever. I would rather start with the house and sort of top-down process and deconstruct it. And as we're moving, stop and look at the pieces that need fixed. And that, to me, gives you perspective. There's this example I always use is this kid who was a foreign exchange student from Australia when I was in high school. He was just this colossal rugby player. We tried to sit down and describe to him American football because we wanted him to play. And he did not get it until we just put him in a scrimmage.
Like, dude, okay.
And every once in a while, the coach would blow the whistle. Get over here, Gary. You got to do this, this, and this. And, okay. Well, now it makes sense because it's in context. I just did it. So to me, that's a more useful way. Mind you, that's probably hard to do if you got a school of 500 people and your classes are 90 deep.
Yeah.
That's the nice thing about a club setting with a dozen guys at a time, which is very much how I like it.
Yeah, and I think, so to me, I think one of the things that we do well that I enjoy is, like, for instance, I got the crap choked out of me by a brown belt. And just with for you Jiu-Jitsu with a simple scissor choke, he was on the bottom and he just choked the crap out of me with a scissor choke, okay? The most simple thing in the world, and I should have been able to defend it, but I didn't know what I was doing, and so he just choked me out. And so then I asked him, dude, okay, so what should I have done there? Like, we get done, and he goes, no, come here. Try this and do that. Okay, cool. All right. So he showed me. Then next roll, the freaking purple belt that was next, he knew that I was going to try to do that. So he scissor choked me and gave me a shot to defend it.
Yep.
And it worked. And so then I was like, yay, I defended it.
To me, that puts it in context. You're not going to forget now. It worked in real time. Not everybody thinks that way. Not everybody agrees with it. It's, drillers make killers, everybody says. If you think in that way, perfect. That's just not the way I think. And I've had success with my top-down method.
Yeah, maybe a little success. I don't know, world champion.
Yeah, I won some tournaments and beat some guys I shouldn't have, that's for sure.
So If somebody is looking for a great jiu-jitsu school, Josh, what should they be looking for in your opinion?
I think the very first thing, keeping in mind that you're the consumer, and now there's a school on every corner.
Boy, is there.
That's what I mean. When I started, there were like 3 or 4 black belts in Arizona. Now, I think keeping in mind, don't take the mysticism and the martial arts magic out of it and treat it the way, and people aren't going to like this, but treat it the way if you were purchasing a car or something. Are you pressured? Are you treated well?
Yeah. It's about the teacher.
Yeah. Are you allowed to cross train? And here's a big one. What is the retention factor? If you don't see any upper ranks, that either means the school is new or the upper ranks have left. So, but if you see a place, I've been in places that are crawling with black belts, and those guys could have left and didn't. So that tells you a lot.
Yeah.
I think being able to cross train is important. There's a very traditional element in martial arts generally, but also in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu that you're some kind of a trader if you try to go to another gym. I mean, that coincidentally is connected to the instructor's, pocketbook, because you might leave and pay your dues elsewhere.
Right.
I've always thought, thankfully I'm not relying on this to pay bills, but I've always thought if there's a better place for you that fits your budget better and is closer to your house and so forth, go.
Do it.
Yeah, I mean, this is, a lot of people will disagree with this, but it would be like the manager at Safeway telling you can't shop at Fry's.
Right.
I mean, you're paying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my instructor has had that policy, and amazingly, no one leaves.
Right.
Because they really like the guy.
Well, I mean, I think if you're offering a great school and a great experience for students and they're learning and they're growing, then they show up.
And I would also say this, when you're a beginner, you do not need to go train with a 7-time Brazilian national champ. It's cool if there's one there and it's affordable, but with the online training that's available now, you just need someone who knows more than you. And if you outgrow that, then you can move on. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. So, interesting stuff there. Got some more to talk about. Next time, we're going to talk about gi versus no gi. Josh, thanks, man.
Thanks, brother.